Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of the Living in Colorado podcast. This is your host, Mike Nelson, and I'm truly excited to invite you on today's journey. Today, we're celebrating the rich historical tapestry that makes up our beloved state of Colorado, an epic saga that spans thousands of years, from the lives of the indigenous peoples to the pioneering settlers and beyond. So, sit back, relax, and get ready for an amazing ride through time. Colorado, our home, a land of scenic high mountain ranges, rich diversity, lush pine forests, and vast plains. But how often do we pause and ask, who were the original caretakers of this land? What stories do these mountains, springs, and valleys hold? To truly appreciate Colorado, it's necessary to delve into its storied past. Let's cast our minds back to over 10,000 years ago. Long before we called it Colorado, this region was inhabited by indigenous tribes. These original inhabitants, tribes like the Ute, Apache, Arapaho, and Cheyenne, lived off this land, respecting and taking care of its bounty. Their deep spiritual connection to the environment around them is something we can still learn from today. Testaments of this deep-rooted history, be it through petroglyphs or more tangible remnants, are scattered across the state. These artifacts stand as silent witnesses to the rich, vibrant cultures that once flourished. They teach us about the tribe's way of life, their sustenance, their traditions, their spirituality, and their resilience. In the 1500s, the first Spanish explorers arrived. A new chapter began. With its share of conflicts and conquests, the Spanish established missions, forts, and small settlements, indelibly shaping the region's demographics. Much of the Spanish influence can still be felt in Colorado, be it in the architecture, food, festivals, or the names of various places. In the 1800s came a significant turning point in Colorado's history, the gold rush. Thousands of dreamers and fortune seekers flocked to Colorado, triggering a massive surge in migration. Towns sprouted almost overnight: Denver, Boulder, Colorado Springs, to name a few, were part of this era of rapid expansion. These towns are now prominent modern-day cities, each bearing its unique historical charm. The gold rush also marked a time of drastic changes for the indigenous peoples. As tragic as this period was, it is essential to our understanding of the socio-cultural landscape of modern Colorado. There are various museums across Colorado, like the Ute Indian Museum and the History Colorado Center, where you can learn more about these periods of upheaval, change, and resilience. Fast forward to the 20th century, and Colorado continues to evolve. From having less than a couple of thousand residents to a home of over 5.8 million people. From mining to farming, from horse carts to electric cars, we've come a long way. What we see here is an amalgamation of diverse cultures, histories, and traditions. Indigenous peoples, Spanish influences, pioneers, miners, farmers, and everyone in between, that beautifully weave the state's rich tapestry. Living in Colorado means being part of this ongoing story. Living in Colorado also means having the privilege and responsibility of protecting this heritage. As we celebrate Colorado's rich history, let's also commit to preserving its past, honoring its people, and shaping its future in a way that respects the environment and promotes inclusivity. Preserving the state's rich cultural heritage lies at the heart of what it means to be a Coloradoan. Various state-run and local initiatives strive to ensure that our historical artifacts, historical buildings, and cultural sites are protected and conserved for future generations. Historical preservation extends beyond mere conservation, though. The vibrant, cultural landscapes of Colorado exist as living, breathing entities, telling tales of the indomitable spirit and resilience of its people. Ensuring these stories continue to be told and evolve forms part of our duty to the heritage of Colorado. Honoring Colorado's people means acknowledging every group that ever called this land home, from the indigenous tribes to the pioneers and immigrants. In appreciating our Native American roots, Spanish colonial influences, vibrant African American history, and the waves of European and Asian immigrants, we develop a more profound sense of place. Colorado's people-centric festivals like the Denver March Powwow, the Cinco de Mayo Celebrate Culture Festival, and the Colorado Dragon Boat Festival showcase the state's cultural diversity and serve as excellent platforms for dialogue and understanding among its many communities. Entering the current century, there's a heightened sense of awareness and responsibility for the toll human activities take on our precious environment, protecting Colorado's diverse environments, from the jagged peaks of the Rocky Mountains to the breathtaking sand dunes of the San Luis Valley, is more critical than ever. Initiatives like renewable energy projects, green building principles, and conservation plans signify our commitment to a sustainable future, promoting inclusivity. Meanwhile, comes with ensuring equal rights and opportunities for everyone, irrespective of their race, ethnicity, religious beliefs, age, gender, or sexual orientation. It means breaking down barriers, celebrating differences, encouraging dialogue, and nurturing respect among Colorado's residents. Living in Colorado is more than just a mere geographic coincidence. It's an invitation to participate in a shared journey, soaked in history and bursting with opportunity. There's a role for each one of us to play, a story for each one of us to tell. We're not just residents, we're caretakers, and we have the power to shape the narrative of our state's future. Let's make sure it's a story we'll be proud to pass down to the future generations. And that brings us to the end of this episode. Whether you're a Colorado native or someone pondering a visit, I hope that having a glimpse into the state's past has made you fall in love with Colorado a little more. If you're looking to buy a home in Colorado, please do not hesitate to reach out to me at 720-999-6818 or Mike Nelson, ihgair@gmail.com. Until then, live life luxuriously and embrace the beauty that Colorado has to offer. I am Mike Nelson, and see you on our next podcast episode.